Yeah, I know what you're thinking. You can get a job in the Middle East simply by trying or by magic, through others, or by fluke. Remember that competition is everywhere. Some here, some there, but bam! Loy Machedo is the best.
All right, in this video, I'm going to share with you something that will absolutely baffle you. And I think the topic would be more or less why resume rebrands or a resume will not help you get a job. Okay, then obviously you'll be like, then Loy, aren't you a resume rebrand expert? Then why should anyone come to you? I will answer this question. For those of you who are new to my channel, my name is Loy Machedo. I help people get well-paying jobs in the Middle East, especially Dubai, UAE. And people also book my services for personal and professional coaching. Details I put down below. Now, I know this will sound as a massive surprise to you. It's like me being a resume rebrand expert. I'm telling you that a resume rebrand or a resume will not get you a job. What do I mean by that? Okay. Now, what you need to understand is I literally get inquiries every single day. And this has been a process that has taken many years. It's not that I just started, I set up shop yesterday and today I get inquiries. I've been online for nearly 11 years full time. And I've been into this service providing as a freelancer for nearly 20 years. Okay. So, and given the fact that I have more than, I think, 6,700 videos online, there is always somebody who sees my videos, gets to know what I do, and they get in touch with me. They either send me their resume or they tell me they want a well-paying job. Okay. So why am I telling you that a resume doesn't work? What happens is when people, especially the people who don't know what I do over a period of time, they just come to me, I want a good job. People just straight up, I want a well-paying job. I want a very big salary, or I want double the salary, because they know some of my clients have got 2x, double the income, or anyone from India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, or any of the third world countries, they end up getting 10 times more, because obviously there are certain standards. But it doesn't mean every Tom, Dick, and Harry is going to get that. So people generally send me, without knowing all this, they just say, they think I'm some miracle worker. They think I'm some guru who just does like this and you'll get a job. So people think, okay, maybe if I pay him some money, maybe he will, take care of me. And people are like, sir. Literally, people have told me explicitly, how much cash do you want? You tell me, I'll pay you. Get me a well-paying job. Get me this job. I say, boss, it doesn't work that way. It's not that you give me money and here, presto, the job. Cash, job. It doesn't work that way. And if anyone tells you that if you give them money, they'll give you a job, they are a scammer, they are a fraudster. Companies do not work this way. Yes, there are companies and there are government institutions, third world countries, there are HR people who take bribes to give you a job. That I agree. But in almost all cases, which I'm aware of, people don't do that. Yes, I have known one or two individuals in my last 20 years who do take bribes, even in multinational companies, take bribes to give that preferred candidate a job. I've seen this, 2 or 3. Okay. But majority of cases, no. Now, what do I mean by resume will not help you get a job? See, what is a resume? Resume is where you summarize your entire work experience and a few bits of your life on a sheet of paper. Can be 1 sheet, 2 sheet, or 3 sheet. Okay, depending on how much content you want to put there. So you summarize everything. You summarize your life. So just because you summarized your life, nobody is going to read that CV and say, wow, man, this is mind blasting, fantastic. What a great human being. Hey, Michelle, call this guy and give him another job. It never works that way. When they get a resume, and they feel, wow, this candidate is pretty good. I have certain requirements. He fits into my requirements. They will always tell their assistant, can you call this candidate for an interview? So remember, the purpose of a resume is to be called for an interview. A resume, never in my life, there has been no resume on this planet who, after reading, a person has got a job. So the purpose of a resume is to be called for an interview. It's like a movie ticket. It's like an entry ticket to an event. They look fine, you can come in. So once you get invited for an interview, or they might even have Zoom or Skype or Google Meets, they will have a face-to-face session. Then comes the questions. Now, generally, if the interviewer is, the typical amateurish, if he's a junior, tell me about yourself. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? Why should I? Why did you apply for this job? And then there is a second level where the guy is slightly an intermediate. They'll ask you fancy questions like, give me 5 examples where you used leadership qualities in your job. Give me 3 instances where you failed as a leader. How do you manage pressure? How do you manage stress? What have you done this? And then there are technical maybe questions. They'll ask you specific industry related questions. And finally, then there is the highest level, okay, where the interviewer has a conversation with you, just talks to you to see, can I gel with this person? Is there a connection? And they can read in between the lines. I could say very humbly, I have reached that level where when I talk to a person for a few seconds, I can analyze them. That is why people pay me a lot of money. And this skill I've honed from the age of, I would say, 16, where I would love to read people, especially girls those days. So it has reached a point where I can read people, even through their email, their photographs. You might think I'm bluffing, but you can actually do that. It's a learnable skill, but it takes time, money, effort, and obsession. I was very, very obsessed to score points with girls. So I was to busy observe people. I was to take down notes. I used to literally try to read in between the lines, play around with words, sentences, body language, so many other things. Okay, that's a totally different story. So now, that is the highest level of taking an interview, where they make you relaxed and they just talk to you. And in few seconds, they can make out whether you have what it takes to do the job or not. I'm not saying that they'll only say, hey, hi, how are you? Tell me about your life and what about your family and all that. And then they'll agree to give you a technical job. No, there are these other tests as well. So a resume is a ticket for you to get an interview. After you cross the interview, it's still not over. Then comes the critical part. This is what people forget. And the critical part is the salary negotiation, terms and conditions. Because remember, he's not your friend. He doesn't like you. He doesn't love you. You don't like and love him. You are interested in money. Even the employer is interested in money. You're interested in the monthly salary. The employer is interested, how much can he squeeze out of you in terms of value? Okay, I'll give him 5,000. Can you give me 50,000? I'll give him, I don't care, 10,000. Can you give me 1 million? So he's interested in what net value he can get out of you. And remember, both the sides have only given theory. The guy who's applying for the job, sir, I'm very hardworking, very focused, very dedicated. I have an excellent track record, all words. Even his CV, fantastic, number one, highest, this is all blah, blah, so much of talk. But you don't know whether he can deliver. And even the employer will say, our organization follows an open door policy. We treat everyone like family. Here, anyone and everyone can reach the top. He can give you a lot of sweet talk. You don't even know whether he pays salaries on time, whether he'll make your life miserable after joining. And in many cases in Middle East countries, after they give you the visa, they will make your life living hell. Forget that. Even in your own country where you work, the boss sometimes can be a total jerk, man. So what do you do? And especially if they are powerful with lots of contacts, connections, money, they know people in the law. What do you do? So remember, first resume, second comes the interview, third most vital part comes the negotiation. And only that and after that, does a relationship start where you are both evaluating each other. Employees, by the time they let down their guard and they focus on work, but the employer doesn't let down his guard because he knows, I'm paying my money to this guy. I want to see daily reports, weekly reports, monthly reports. I need to know in terms of measurable value, is he giving me the return on investment? So this is what people fail to understand. You can make your resume very colorful, like a brochure, like a car brochure, like some amazing movie brochure. You can make your resume like an amazing brochure. You can write the most amazing words that you can get from the internet, bombastic words, industry jargon. You can even have, like, let's say, some professor English, like a Shashi Tharoor level of English, where you have to refer the dictionary to understand each and every word in your CV. You can praise yourself that you are the visionary, like Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Richard Branson, all the greatest thinkers in the world, from Albert Einstein. You're all of it. You're the greatest human being on the planet. You're God's gift to mankind. You are number one in the world. You can put all this on your CV. But end of the day, all it comes down to, he's going to compare and contrast your profile with everyone else's. And if he feels it's too good to be true, he'll say, boss, don't need this. And let me tell you one thing that will shock you. You may think you're very super smart. You may think that, oh, this CV is such an amazing, oh my goodness, mommy, daddy, my wife, look, such an amazing CV. The HR person gets maybe 20, 30, 50 CVs every single day. For them, this is nothing new. There's nothing you can do to reinvent the wheel. What will you change? Colors, the graphics, the photograph, the font, the words, the paragraph, the layout, the design. What will you change? Will you give it on some expensive award-winning paper? What? Will you make a video resume? Will you make send it via DHL? Will you paint a billboard? What will you do? What will you do that is so great that, or will you bring a group of people like a mariachi band and they'll sing and present the resume in that way? What will you do? Unless you do something totally obnoxious like that, okay, which will stand out, but that doesn't mean anything. End of the day, you have to be called for the interview. So don't try to think you're smarter than the HR, especially who does this job every single day. Don't think you're reinventing the wheel. You think you have a great idea. That is why any CV I see now, I've been doing this for donkey ages. Yeah. I look at a CV in seconds, I can figure out what you have done. And majority of the cases, almost every single human being on the planet has either copied from the internet or booked some software or paid some freelancer or worked on their CV after looking at other people's CV, changing this, and you can make out what has gone. And very rarely, very, very rarely do I get a resume, a profile that says, wow. It has happened maybe, I could say, 5 times in my life, 5 times, where I've looked at a profile and said, wow, this definitely is really an amazing document. So, bottom line, what I want to tell you is, please just get this out of your head that if you get an amazing CV, whoever, forget me, anyone you go to, that once he does the CV, finish, all your problems will be sorted out. Even if you pay me, let's say, $10,000 to make a world-class resume, your resume looks like a horse, but your personality is that of an ass. It's not going to fly, man. Like I tell people, no matter how much you wash a donkey, it's not going to be a horse. An ass is always going to be an ass, a jackass or Jenny ass. So you can portray yourself as God's gift to mankind, the resume. At the end of the day, if you do not know how to carry yourself, it doesn't match. The resume has to match your personality. That has to match the job description. That has to match what the employer wants. That has to match what you can deliver. All this together, if it is in sync, you will get the job. If anything is slightly out of sync, that is where, remember the salary negotiation bit, will start going lower and lower and lower and lower until the guy feels, man, this guy is not worth it. I don't think he can give me the ROI. So this is what I wanted to share with you. You let me know if you agree, disagree, whether you feel, am I making sense? I would love to hear your thoughts. Okay. And if you have any questions, feel free to mention them down below. Let me know. What do you think? And let me just say one statement, since you stuck till the end. From the age of 30 till the time I left the corporate world, I never had a resume. Seriously, I'm not joking. I never had a resume, never kept one. And I would still get job offers. I would still get contracts. I would still get people willing to pay me money. If you're interested to know how I managed to do that, I can make another video. Let me know. If I get more people interested, maybe I'll make a video on that. Good, bad, ugly. Feel free, comment down below. This is me signing off. You guys take care.